Have you ever walked away from a conversation thinking, that went deeper than I expected? Or on the flip side, what just happened there? Those moments are reminders that interpersonal communication isn't just talking, it's layered, emotional, sometimes messy, and always meaningful. The first part of our course explored the cornerstones of interpersonal communication, the foundational concepts that help us understand what interpersonal communication is and why it matters. So, now in this lecture, I'll highlight 5 core ideas. First, interpersonal communication is complex, collaborative, and imbued with meaning. Secondly, it is shaped by both affect and cognition. Thirdly, it is value laden. Fourthly, building intimate relationships requires embracing self disclosure and the vulnerability that accompanies it. And fifthly, communication is how we make sense of ourselves and our relationships. So, first, interpersonal communication is complex, collaborative, and imbued with meaning. At its core, interpersonal communication is the collaborative, interdependent process of verbal and nonverbal engagement and meaning making between two or more people. It's grounded in the transactional model, which emphasizes wholeness. Each person is both sender and receiver, influencing and being influenced at the same time. This isn't a clean or simple process. It's shaped by values, context, and the emotional and cognitive states of both people involved. Secondly, affect and cognition filter every interaction. So our communication is filtered through affect, our moods, sensations, and emotional states, as well as cognition, our mental habits and interpretations. On the emotional side, we explored ideas like emotional regulation, emotional intelligence, and emotional contagion, which all influence how we express and interpret feelings. Cognitively, we rely on tools like schemata, goals and plans, stereotypes, and expectancies to make sense of what's happening. These internal filters often shape our reactions before we even speak. Thirdly, communication is value laden. In essence, communication is never neutral. We bring values to every interaction about what counts as respectful, honest, or moral. That's why communication competence matters. Not just being skilled, but being ethical. Moreover, we learned that good communication includes exhibiting empathy or understanding from another's point of view, modeling civility or showing restraint, respect, and responsibility, engaging in dialogue or meeting others as whole, unique individuals, and opening ourselves up for self-disclosure or sharing about ourselves with intention and care. These qualities help us show up as whole, ethical communicators. Fourthly, building intimate relationships requires embracing self-disclosure and the vulnerability that accompanies it. We make daily decisions about what to reveal and what to conceal. Social penetration theory helps explain how relationships develop through increasing depth of disclosure, often guided by the norm of reciprocity. We share more when others do, too. At the same time, communication privacy management theory reminds us that people manage private information with boundaries and rules, and boundary violations can strain relationships. Disclosure, then, is both a risk and a relationship building tool. Fifthly and lastly, communication is how we make sense of our social lives. Interpersonal communication is how we do sense making, how we interpret events, define relationships, and assign meaning to everyday life. We do this through tools like attributions, remedial accounts, memorable messages. We use metaphors, narratives, and communicated perspective taking to show others that we see them and want to understand them. So, what's the takeaway? Interpersonal communication is not just a skill to master, it's the process through which we form identity, manage relationships, and navigate our lives. Whether you're building trust in a team, resolving conflict with a loved one, or just trying to express yourself more clearly, these foundational ideas help you to do it with greater awareness and intention. Understanding the cornerstones gives you the tools to communicate not just effectively, but meaningfully.